So today I'm going to teach you the problem 3, that is related to two machine scheduling. So two machine scheduling, this is the problem number 3. So let us see what is the problem. So here in the problem has given find the sequence that minimizes the total elapsed time to the following, and this is also the problem, that means how many jobs we have and machine A processing times and machine B processing times. So this is the table in the problem itself given to us. So what we have to do, so we have to find the optimum sequence that minimizes the total elapsed time to the following. So first we have to find the optimum sequence. So with the help of this problem, so we can understand more about how to find out the optimum sequence, because if we have the same processing times related to the same machine, or if we have the same processing times related to different machines, so how we have to consider, how we have to take the jobs, so that we can understand with the help of finding out optimum sequence with this problem. So let us find out the optimum sequence. So this is the first step. So with the help of this problem, let us find out the optimum sequence. For finding out the optimum sequence, so what we have to do, just we have to take all the processing times. These processing times are related to machine A and these processing times related to machine B. So we have to consider all the processing times while finding out the optimum sequence. So among all the processing times, which is the lowest processing time, so that we have to identify. So here among all these processing times, here 3 is the lowest processing time. So there is no other lowest processing time we have. So 3 is the lowest processing time among all the processing times. So this 3 processing time related to machine B, this is related to machine B, and this processing time is related to job 6, right? So first we have to place the job in the optimum sequence. So where we have to place that 6th job in the optimum sequence, so that is the process to find out the optimum sequence. So where we have to place, so this is related to machine B, and for any processing time is related to machine B, then that processing time job we have to place from right to left side in the optimum sequence. So here from right to left side we have to place the job. Why we have to place the job from right to left? Because this processing time is related to machine B. That's why I have placed the job from right to left. That's why I placed here. Then we have to leave these processing times. So I'm just applying some color. So we do not place the job 6 again in the optimum sequence. So we have only 6 jobs, so we have to find out the sequence of 6 jobs. Once we place the job 6, then that doesn't come again. Okay, so that's why here we do not consider this 10 processing time again, because already we placed the job 6 here, so we no need to consider this 10 processing time. Just we placed the job, that's it. And next, among remaining processing times, we do not consider 3 and 10 also, because I have placed the 6th job on the optimum sequence. The next, remaining processing times, so which is the lowest processing time, again we have to check. So here we have 5 and we have 4, so comparing with the 5, so 4 is the lowest processing time. And is there any lowest processing time? No. So 4 is the lowest processing time among all the processing times, so we have to take the 4 processing time. So this 4 processing time is related to machine A, and this 4 processing time is related to job 3. So now what we have to do, so we have to place the job 3 in the optimum sequence. So where we have to place, so this processing time is related to machine A, so machine A, that's why we have to place the job from left to right. So we have to place the job, that is job 3. So this 4 processing time is related to job 3, so we have to place the job 3 from left to right side, because this processing time is related to machine A. Right. So next I am applying the same color to these processing times. Okay, we do not take 8 also, like 10. Okay, right. Next, so remaining processing times, what is the lowest processing time? So here we have 5. Okay, 5 is the lowest processing time. So 5 processing time is related to machine B and job 1. So now we have to place the job 1 in the optimum sequence. So this 5 is related to machine B. So where we have to place the job 1? So this is related to machine B. So we have to place the job 1 from right to left side, likewise, like this. So here already we have 6th job in the optimum sequence. After the 6th job, from right to left only, we have to place the job, that is 5 processing time is related to job 1. So this job 1 placed from right to left side, because this processing time is related to machine B. That's why I placed here. Already we have 6. After that we have to place the next job. Right. Okay. Then we do not consider these processing times again. So what are the remaining processing times we have? So here we have remaining processing times, these. So these are remaining. So here among these processing times, remaining processing times, so which is the lowest processing time? So here we have the 6 processing time, and here also we have 6 processing time. So we have two same processing times we have. So in this situation, so which processing time we have to take? So which processing time we have to take? So that is the point here we have to consider. That means we have to consider and we have to choose. So here for related to machine A processing time will you choose, or related to machine B processing time will you choose? So which one you have to select? So in this situation, what we have to do? So just we have to check what is the corresponding value of that processing time. So what is corresponding value of that processing time? So here we have machine A 6 processing time. So the opposite or the other machine processing time, how much? That processing time is 10. This is the corresponding processing time for 6 processing time. So here we have 10 corresponding processing time, and here we have 11 corresponding processing time. So here we have to check the corresponding processing times. So here we have 10, here we have 11. So comparing these 10 and 11, so which one is less, that we have to identify. So comparing with 11, so here we have 11 is the lowest value comparing with the 11. So here we have to first select the processing time related to machine A. So this processing time we have to select because the corresponding value is less comparing with the other corresponding processing time. It is very less. So that's why I have taken the machine A processing time. So when we have the same processing times, so we have to check the corresponding processing times and compare which one is less than. Then we have to select the less corresponding value processing time. Okay, so this 6 I am selecting this 6 what processing time because the corresponding value is very less comparing with the other corresponding value. Okay, so now I am taking this 6 processing time. So this is related to machine A and this is related to job 2. So here we have to place the job, that is job 2. Where we have to place this job 2? From left to right side. So here we have to place from left to right side because this processing time is related to machine A. So here I am placing the job. So 6 processing time is related to machine A. From left to right we have to place the job. This processing time is related to job 2. So I placed job 2 here, right. So remaining processing times, already we know what is the shortest processing time. So that is 6. So this is related to machine B and job 5. So here this job 5 we have to place from right to left side. So here we have to place the job. Okay, right. So only one job we have, so we have to place the job in the optimum sequence directly. Okay, so no problem. So here we are just placing the jobs. We are finding out the optimum sequence for all the jobs. Okay, so this is the optimum sequence we have found. So why we have to found this optimum sequence? Because this optimum sequence will minimizes the total elapsed time. So with the help of this optimum sequence we can reduce the total elapsed time. That's why we have to found the optimum sequence, right. So after finding out the optimum sequence, so then what we have to do? So we have to process the jobs or we have to process the timings. So how we have to process the jobs? So let us find. First I am placing the job sequences here. So what the job sequence we found, so that job sequence we have to enter here. So according to this optimum sequence, we have to process the jobs. Okay, so I placed the job sequence, and so next machine A and machine B. So here we have to process all the processing times related to machine A and machine B. So here for machine A, what is the in time, processing time, out time, and we have to find out the idle time also, no problem. For machine B, in time, processing time, out time, and idle time. Okay, so here in two machine scheduling problem, whatever the two machine scheduling problem, any job starts from 0 time. We have to start the job at 0 time. Okay, at 0 time we have to process. And here one more thing you have to notice that the order of the two machines, the problem in the problem they didn't give the order of the machines. So if there is no order of the machines, then we have to take simply first machine A, then machine B. If they have given the order, then according to that machine order we have to calculate the processing times. If there is no order mentioned in the problem, then we have to take machine A and machine B, AB order, machine AB order, right. So at 0 time we have to process the first job. So here the first job is job 3. First the job 3 we have to process on machine A. Then after processing, after we complete the process on machine A, then we process the third job on the machine B. Okay, so here you don't confuse. This is the first job, this is the second job, this is the third job, this is the fourth job. So likewise, I may also use third, second job, fourth job, fifth job, first job, and sixth job. Okay, don't confuse. Okay, so at 0 time I am processing the first job, so that is third job. Okay, so what is the processing time of job 3 on machine A? So in the problem we have that value. So the job 3 machine A processing time is 4. So here that 4 we have to write here. Okay, that means the first job, that is job 3, we are processing on machine A at 0 time. So 0 is the in time, so we started at 0 time, so that is the in time. How much time we have to process the job 3 on machine A? So that is 4 hours. So 4 minutes or 4 hours. In the problem they didn't give the hours or minutes, they didn't give the time. So whatever we use, no problem. So I am using hours. Okay, so here for 4 hours we have to process on machine A. After 4 hours the third job comes out from machine A at 4 hours only. Okay, so here the third job we are processing on machine A for 4 hours. At 4th hour we can get the job from out from machine A at the 4th hour only. Okay, so what is the idle time? So idle time is nothing but waiting time. So is machine A waited for anything? Nothing, because the machine A didn't wait for anything, because we have started the job, we have started the first job at 0 hour. So that 0 hour we have to consider. So here 0 time the machine A waited for, that means that machine A didn't wait for any job, okay, to process. So here the idle time is the 0. So the third job we processed on machine A, then the same job we have to process on machine B, then the job will complete. So that is the what the sequence. First we have to process the job on machine A, then we have to process the job on machine B, then that job will become complete, right? So for machine B, what is the in time? At 4th hour we have processed the job on machine A completely, then at 4th hour we can process the job on machine B. The order of the machine is A and B. First we have to process the job on machine A, then we have to process the job on machine B. That's why it is a 2 machine scheduling. If we do not process the job on machine A, then we do not process the job on machine A, we do not process on machine B also. First we have to process the job on machine A, then only we have to process the machine B. That is the order of the machines, right? So at 4th hour the job is ready on machine because the machine A has completed the job and it is ready for forwarding to machine B. So at 4th hour, so this job at 4th hour, this is the in time for machine B. Okay, this job out time of the machine A will become the in time of machine B, because we have to process the job on first machine A, then we have to process machine B. That's why. So what is the processing time for machine B? So which job we are processing? The third job. So third job processing time for machine B is, that is 8. So 4 we have taken here, 8 we have to take here, because this is we are processing the job on machine B. Now okay, so what is the out time? So at 4th hour we have got the job on machine B, and 8 hours we have to process the job on machine B. Then what is the out time? So simply we can calculate the in time plus processing time will become the out time. That is the 12th hour. At 12th hour we can complete the process on machine B. Okay, so at 12th hour the job will completely performed on both machines. Okay, so this is the processing of the jobs or timings. So this is the processing of jobs. So we have completed successfully processed a job on both machines. At 12th hour we have completed the processing one job. Okay, so what is the idle time? Is machine B waited for anything? Of course it has waited for a job for 4 hours. After 4 hours only the machine B got a job to process. So before because it waited for 4 hours, that's why we have taken the in time 4 hours. What the machine B did? Nothing. So the idle time of the machine B is 4 hours. Okay, actually we have started the processing jobs at 0 time. Okay, on machine B we have got a job at 4th hour. That means what the machine B did for 4 hours? Nothing. It has idle. Okay, so that's why we have to take the idle time 4 hours here. Okay, so this is the idle time for machine B. Okay, this is the idle time for machine B. So this is the what process. Okay, next, coming to the next job. So here machine A performed or processed the previous job, that is job 3, previous job. What is the outtime of the previous job on machine A? So the previous job outtime on machine A at 4th hour. So at 4th hour we can start the next job, because the previous job we have processed on machine A at 4th hour, then we at the same 4th hour we can start the next job to process on machine A. Okay, so that's why the previous job outtime will become the present job in time. So like we have to take, so we do not make the machine idle, that's why the previous job outtime will become the present job in time. So we have to process the next job, because we have a job to process on machine A. Okay, so the next job is ready after 4th hour, so we do not make the machine idle, so that's why we have to process the next job at the same hour. Okay, so what is the processing time? So the processing time of job 2 on machine A. So what is the processing time? So job 2 machine A, so that is 6. So 6 is the processing time. That that means what? So the job, that is the second job, we have to process on machine A for 6 hours. Okay, 6 hours we have to process. So what is the outtime of this job? Okay, what is the processing time, outtime of this job? So for finding out the outtime of the job, so we have to take the in time plus processing time, will then we will get the outtime of the job. At 10th hour we can complete the second job on machine A. First we have processed the third job, then after that we have processed the second job. Okay, so this is at 10th hour we have completed the second job, and also we have completed the third job. This is the cumulative processing time. So the outtime is nothing but cumulative processing time. Okay, right. Then what about the idle time? What about the idle time? So here machine A didn't wait for any job. The outtime of the previous job is 4th hour. The present job in time is same 4 hours. So the machine didn't wait for any job. So simply here we have to take 0. We have to take 0. Right. Then after processing the job on machine A, then we have to process the job on machine B also. Right. So here what is the in time? So here we have to check the previous job outtime. So what is the previous job outtime? That is 12th hour. So at 12th hour the machine B is ready to perform the next job. Right. And here we have to check the machine B availability, and at the same time the job availability also we have to check. So is there any job we have to process? Yes, we have a job to process at a 10th hour. So after 10th hour only we can we can forward this job on machine B. At 10th hour we can perform that job, we can perform this job on machine B. But at 10th hour the machine B is not ready. At 10th hour machine B is not ready. Why it is not ready? Because the previous job is performing at 10th hour. Then the machine B will become free. At 12th hour it becomes free. Then at 12th hour we can process the present job. Even the job is ready. Okay, so the machine, we have to what consider the previous job out time and previous job out time on same machine and the present job out time of the machine A. So here we have to compare the present job machine A out time and previous job out time on machine B. So we have to compare these two for finding out the in time. Okay, so this is machine B in time. So after finding out the in time of machine B, then we have to take here the processing time of machine that job 2 processing time here. So job 2 processing time for machine B, that is 10. So here I am taking 10 processing time. So what is the out time? So here the out time, to calculate the out time, so in time plus processing time, then we will get the out time. So at 22 hour and 22nd hour, we can complete 2 jobs on both machines. Okay, so what is the idle time here? So for finding out the idle time, so we have to consider the previous job out time minus present job in time. For calculating any idle time, so we have to consider the same machine out time and in time. Then we will get 0. So 12th hour, 0. There is no gap. Right. Then we have to process the next job, that is 4th job. So here what is the in time? So here the how we will get the in time for machine A? So the previous job out time will become the in time of the present job for first machine, that is 10. Okay, because at 10th hour machine is ready to perform the next job. At 10th hour we can perform the next job because we have the next job. We can process it at the same out time hour. Okay, then what is the machine A that 4th job processing time related to machine A? So 4th job, here we are processing the 4th job. So processing time for machine A, that is 7. So here 7 we have to take, and how we will get the out time? So here 10, that is in time plus processing time, we will get the out time. So that is 17. So that means at 10th hour we are starting the job to process on machine A. How many hours we have to process the job on machine A? That 7 hours we have to process the job on machine A. Then 10 plus 7, 17. At 17th hour we can complete the job on machine A. Then finding out for idle time, so here we have to calculate the out time minus in time of the same job, then we will get the idle time. So that is 0. So here the previous job out time will become present job in time. So there is no gap, so 10 minus 10. So simply we can write here the 0 is the idle time. Then here we have to calculate the in time for the machine B. Okay, so here the 4th job we have processed and completed at 17th hour on machine A. At 17th hour we can process this job on machine B. So that means this 17th hour may become in time for machine B. Okay, but at 17th hour the machine B is not ready. At 17th hour machine B is not ready because at 17th hour the previous job, that is second job, is performing up to 22 hours. At 22 hour the machine B will become free, but at 17th hour the machine B is not ready to perform the 4th job. So what we have to do? So here So we have to calculate max of, so which one is max? So this previous job out time of the same machine, comma, the present job out time of machine A. So which one is max? So here 22 is the max. So comparing with the 17, 22 is the max. Okay, that means at 17th hour the job is ready to perform on machine B, but at 17th hour machine B is not ready. At 22 hour machine will become ready to perform the next job, even the job is ready. Okay, so at 22 hour we can process the job. So here what is the processing time? So here what is the job? So here the job is fourth job. So fourth job processing time for machine B is 8 hours. So 8 hours. And what is the, how we will calculate the out time? So here in time plus out processing time for the same machine, we will get the out time of the job. So at 13th hour we can complete 3 jobs. We can complete 3 jobs at 13th hour. Okay, so we have completed 3 jobs completely. So what is the idle time? So here for calculating the idle time, what is the previous job out time minus what is the present job in time of the same machine. So here we are calculating the idle time for machine B. 0, that is 0, right. For calculating or for processing the next job, so how we have to take the in time here? The previous job out time will become the present job in time. So what is the processing time? So here fifth job processing time is machine A, that is 11. So 11 we have to take here. So how we have to calculate the out time here? So here 17 plus 11 is equals to out time, that is 28 hour. At 28 hour we can complete the process of fifth job. What is the idle time? So here the previous job out time minus present job in time, so that is 0 is the idle time. So the machine didn't wait for any time. Okay, then next, how we have to calculate the in time? So this is important actually. So here you have to careful for identifying the in time. So here which one is max? So max of the previous job out time of the same machine and the present job out time of the machine A. So here which one is max? So 30 is the max. So at 28th hour machine the job is ready. The job is ready to perform on machine B, but at 28th hour machine is not ready. That's why at 30 hour only the machine will become free. Then at 30 hour only we can process the job. Okay, so 30 hour we have to take. And what is the processing time here? The processing time of job, that is 5. Job 5 of the processing time here 6. So 6 we have to take here. And next, what is the out time? How to calculate? So in time plus processing time we will get the out time. So for calculating the idle time, so here the out time minus the in time, so we will get the idle time of the machine B, right, that is 0. Okay, next we have processed the fifth job also on 2 machines. Then we will go for the next job here. So here we have what we have to take as in time. So the previous job out time we will get the in time. At 28th hour we can start the first job on machine A. Then what is the processing time? That is 9 hours. 9 hours we have to process on machine A. the job. So how we will get the out time? So that is in time plus processing time, we will get the out time. So for calculating the idle time, so the previous job out time minus the present job in time, so that is 0. Okay, and next for calculating the in time of the job, so here, so we have to max of, so out time of this what previous job on same machine, comma the present job out time on machine A. So we have to compare. So here the machine is ready at 36th hour, but at 36th hour we do not have a job to perform. At 37th hour we have a job to perform on machine B. So here what is the in time? So 36 and 37. So 37 is the max. So 37 we have to take here. So either machine will be ready or the job will be ready. So which one is ready? So here we have to compare. So according to the comparison, so here we have to take which one is max. So here at 37th hour we have a job to perform. Already the machine is ready. Okay, so at 37th hour we can perform this job on machine B. What is the processing time for job 1? That is 5 hours. Okay, so automatically we got the out time for this job. Okay, so what is the idle time? So here the previous job out time is 36 hours, the present job in time is 37 hours. So we will get the idle time for 1 hour, because the machine waited for 1 hour, because at 36th hour the previous job has completely processed at 36th hour only, but at 36th hour we do not have a job to perform. At 37th hour we have a job to perform on machine B. So what the machine has to do? So it has to wait for 1 hour. So here the previous job out time minus the present job in time, so we will get the idle time 1. So here I just first I will take in time minus and out time, so 1 hour. So this and next finally we have a job, so that we have to process at 37th hour. So here at 37th hour the machine A will become free to perform the next job. So we have a next job. So at 37th hour we can perform the next job. So what is the what processing time? So for 6th job, that is 10 and 3. So here we have to take 10, here we have to take 3. Okay, so at 10th so here we have to calculate the out time. So 37 plus 10. So at 47th hour we can perform the 6th job on machine A. Then what about the idle time? So here we have to take 0, because the previous job out time is 37 hours. The present job in time is 37 hours. So we will get we do not get any time. That means the machine didn't wait for any time. That's why here we have to take 0. And next, what about the in time for this job on machine B? So here 47 we have and 42 we have. So which one is max? So 47 we have to take. So why we have to take 47? Because the machine is ready at 42nd hour. At 42 hour it is ready, but there is no job to perform on machine B. At 47th hour we have a job to perform on machine B, even the machine is ready at 42nd hour. Okay, so that's why we have to take 47 here. So 42, 47, so we have to take the max value, that is 47. Simply we can say that. So out time for this job, so that 47 plus processing time, we have to add these two, then we will get out time, so that is 50. Okay, so what about the idle time? So here the in time minus present job in time minus previous job out time, so we will get the idle time for machine B for this job. Okay, so likewise we have to process all the jobs, and we have to find out the processing times. So here for processing all the jobs, how much time we will get? 50 hours we will get to process all the jobs. At 50 hour we can process all the jobs. So that's why here the 50 hour is the total elapsed time. 50 hour is the total elapsed time. So this 50 hour we have to take, that is the total elapsed time. And for idle time for machine A and machine B, so that we have to calculate. So directly we can calculate the idle time for machine B. So here simply we add all these idle times, we will get the idle time for machine B. So that is 10 is the machine B idle time. But coming to calculating the idle time for machine A, so here we have to take so this processing time also. So here the last job, that is the sixth job, at 47th hour we have completed the sixth job on machine A, and this machine doesn't have any other job to perform after 47th hour. Okay, that's fine, because there are no jobs. But this machine A has to wait 3 more hours. Why it has to wait 3 more hours? Because this last job we have performed on machine A at 47th hour we have performed. That's fine. Also this job we have to process on machine B also. This sixth job we have to process on machine B for 3 hours. This last job we have to process on machine B for 3 hours. For 3 hours this machine B has to wait. Okay, so after 50 hours, at 50 hours we can complete all the jobs to process. Okay, we have processed all the jobs at 50 hours, so there are no jobs to perform. Okay, so that's why, so here these 3 hours also we have to take here for idle time. So this machine has to wait for perform all the jobs completely. So that's why here we have to take the 3. So here if we add all these, then we will get 3. So this is the idle time for machine A. So likewise we have to calculate the total elapsed time and idle time for machine A and machine B. So this is about the 2 machine scheduling problem.